You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here, hanging with you guys today, and we are going to do a coming in hot kind of a podcast and episode. I'm actually shooting this real time the night before that the podcast is going to load up, which is tomorrow morning, Friday. So, hey, happy Friday to you guys. Hope you're having a really good week. We are over here mowing grass, slinging mulch, getting ready to do some dethatching, some aerations. Man, a little bit of everything in between. It has been a busy couple of days, and I'll tell you what, maybe some of you guys can relate. The rain is not helping at all. We've actually lost a couple days and then had a couple late starts because of the rain, and actually doing a coaching call with somebody that was over in Illinois. They were dealing with a bunch of rain. Was watching my young friend, Christian, CNI Services, that young cat over there, Wildcat, and making money. He was talking about how 20 out of the last 30 days in Illinois have been rain. And then I actually did another coaching call with a gentleman in Pennsylvania. And same thing, he was getting rain. And I'm like, I think the Illinois folks get what we get a day before, we get it a day later. And then I was joking with my friend in Pennsylvania that they get the weather a day after us because they're about 7-8 hours east. So it's just funny. Like I watched the radar and I can see all you guys from the Plain States, Illinois and Indiana, and then it gets to us, and then you guys hear me complain, and then all you guys in Pennsylvania are like, dude, we got to work late tonight because we're going to get rained out tomorrow. Fullerton's getting rain. So it's just kind of funny how it all works. But what I wanted to talk about for just a couple quick minutes here, I don't think it's going to be a very lengthy podcast. This is just a topic that's been on my mind and something that I've been reminding of myself even as work is coming in and we're getting more and more calls, is the fact that people just seem to be massive procrastinators in life, just in general. And just because somebody else has a 5-alarm fire, it doesn't mean that should change our work schedule necessarily. It shouldn't mean their problem instantly becomes our problem. It shouldn't mean their 5-alarm fire becomes my 5-alarm fire in my world, my life, my business. And what I mean specifically is the phone is ringing like crazy. I don't know if you guys can relate. I literally have been going through my phone. I think yesterday I had 20. I'm literally scrolling through here. I like the red on missed calls. I had like 21 calls yesterday. Today, I had 10 calls by 11 a.m. for people looking for service. That's wild. I had 3 or 4 voicemails yesterday, another 3 by lunch today. And you know what? Like I'm not opposed to taking on new customers. You know, we're very focused in the subdivisions we're in, and we're trying to be very picky, very choosy. But I'm still open for business. We can always take on a couple new clients here and there, and you know, that gives me opportunity to maybe prune some people that are on the lower rungs of the business, maybe through the season or later next season or whatever. We're always trying to shore things up, just like I'm sure a lot of you guys are. But the point is I wanted to make is, well, I have a couple points I wanted to make, but my main goal is to just let you guys know, this is how I feel, is that all these people are calling. I had 31 calls or whatever it is, literally, in the last 48 hours. I'm thinking to myself, where were you folks in February? Where were you folks in March? Where were you folks the first part of April before the season got started? And here's the deal. I'm a very organized, I'm a very structured person. I like mild chaos, you know, like controlled chaos. I don't know if I think that's an oxymoron, kind of like jumbo shrimp or government worker. So I like a certain level of chaos. I'm sure you guys do. I think that's one of the exciting wildcatting parts of the green industry, because you're always working on supplies, materials, jobs, expectations, crews, equipment. It's like never everything is always hitting on all 8 cylinders. It's always like something's lacking a little bit. Like your guys show up, but then the equipment broke down, or the equipment's running great, but then a guy shows up late, or everything's going great with your guys and your equipment, but then we get rain. You know what I mean? But what I wanted to just talk about for a quick minute, and maybe just give you guys some hope, some encouragement, maybe just a word of motivation today as we kind of wrap up the week, is don't let other people's lack of planning really throw a wrench into your structure, your plans, your goals, and what you have going on with your company. So that's what I want to talk about for a quick minute. It's going to be a short and sweet episode. I'm actually ripping this podcast out really quick, and then I'm going to be going to mow my 5-acre property, 3.5 acre property, I should say. Going to go mow my 3 acres, and then we just got a bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes. We're getting ready for Mother's Day. It's Liz's first Mother's Day as a new mom with a baby outside of the womb. So we're super excited about that. So I'm like, get a bunch of stuff organized. We've got Friday, we have a half day of mowing to make up, and then we were going to do a 31-yard mulch job, but rain's again in the forecast for Friday. And then Saturday, we've got about 45 yards of mulch that we're going to be moving on 2 commercial sites, about a 24-yarder and then another 24 to 26-yarder. So, dude, it's going to be a wild couple of days. And then I need to get this all buttoned up by Sunday for Mother's Day. By the way, I probably won't talk to you guys, obviously, between now and then, besides maybe our Saturday bonus episode from our weekly live streams on Sundays that we do, 7 p.m. Eastern. We rip that live audio to a Saturday bonus episode. But if I don't talk with you guys between now and then, happy Mother's Day to all the ladies that are listening to the show, all the moms, all the grandmas listening to the show, and all of you husbands that are out there. Do something to make Mother's Day special. Get a bouquet of flowers. Get just something nice. I don't care if it's a piece of jewelry, whatever it is. But here's the deal. You know what they want? They want quality time. Try to get an hour or 2 in. Spend some time with the wife. Play with the kid, play with the baby, get them off of mom's lap, off of mom's, you know what, and get them away for just a quick minute so mom can have some quality time. I think that's a really, really important thing to do. And so I'm planning a couple different surprises for Liz on Sunday. Really excited about that. She's been Mom of the Year in my book. I can't believe how much it takes to raise a kid. It's absolutely freaking wild, and she's just been a rock star doing that. So for all of you guys that have wives, spoil them, bless them, love on them, give some encouragement. I pray that you guys' relationships are doing well behind the scenes. I know this time of year, let's be honest, it can be taxing. Like, a lot of us are slinging mulch and working late nights, and like I said, battling with the rain. So for all of you guys out there, take 5 minutes, work on that relationship, spend some time with the wife on Saturday and Sunday. I think they'll really appreciate it. By the way, if you want your wife to treat you like a king, make sure you treat them like a queen. Amen. So let's do this really quick. Let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer. I want to hear from today's show sponsors, show announcements. I'm coming in hot, man. I got energy drinks in me. I am talking 400 words a minute. I am excited about life, business. We're doing hundreds of yards of mulch. We just copped this new contract with a huge commercial site. It's got 40 yards of mulch on it, which is that's a big site for me. And then another about 12 grand in mowing. Dude, it's crazy. Like, stuff is coming in left and right. But that's my point. I'm not going to let my calendar get smushed or crushed or turn into chaos because other people didn't plan ahead. So I got some thoughts I wanted to deliver for you guys. We're going to come right on back here to hear from today's show sponsors and announcements, and then we'll talk a little bit more about this topic. Hang tight.
Are you dreaming of enjoying your favorite ice-cold beverage on the perfect lawn this summer? Have you spent hours in your yard trying to turn it into a masterpiece only to realize you're not Picasso? We've all been there and know how frustrating and time-consuming this can be. Luckily, Landsea is the solution for all of your lawn care needs. Our diverse catalog of products was expertly developed by a lawn care enthusiast for lawn care enthusiasts. No BS, no inflated price tags, just user-friendly, affordable, quality equipment that can be easily assembled, easily maneuvered, and easily maintained season after season, no matter your experience level. We are so confident that our products will deliver that we're offering free shipping year-round and a complimentary lifetime product guarantee allowing you to buy with confidence. Landsea is also the exclusive U.S. retailer of Swardman Reel Mowers. Swardman mowers are precision-engineered and beautifully designed to cut your lawn quietly and efficiently time after time. Be the envy of all your neighbors this summer and visit Landsea.com to take the first step in achieving the better lawn of your dreams. That's LANDZIE.com, and you know what? That drink will never taste better. Use the code BRYANS10 to save 10%, and the link is in the show notes.
All right, guys. Well, let's jump right back into it here. I just want to talk about this topic, short and sweet, and that is talking about the season, rush, the spring rush, the chaos that can ensue, and why working out of a calendar, why being organized is so important with what we're trying to do. For example, I got a couple things I wanted to talk about, but number one, when I send out all of our lawn inquiry forms, I legitimately mean I get these back and I book out my calendar. Like, I just don't understand how some people operate in life without a calendar or organization or a plan, or they have any idea what they're doing, let alone today, but tomorrow. It drives me wild. For example, at the end of the night, I always do a dry run of what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Point number one. And the people, if you don't know what you're doing tomorrow when you wake up, if you don't know what you're already supposed to be doing that day, you've lost the day. More than likely, you already woke up late, 7:30, 8, 9 o'clock. You have no idea what you're trying to do. Before you ever get engaged, it's 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock, you've lost the day. The day is gone. I don't care what you say, what you think. That is true. So number one, in life, you need to know what you're doing tomorrow the night before. You have to do a dry run. I get my clothes out. I get my calendar ready. I know who I'm supposed to talk to, when I'm supposed to talk to people, what the route is, whatever I'm doing that day. Now, here's my catch-22, the juxtaposition. Here's the opposite. Here's what I want to say. Most people do not live their life that way. Factually speaking, they're employees and they just want to get told what to do. They're lazy. They don't have their mind turned on. It's not an indictment. It's just how most people operate. And as an entrepreneur, you have got to be alert. You've got to be aware. You've got to be forward focused, forward thinking. You have got to be a planner. Everybody in life is playing checkers and you have to be playing chess. You have to be 2, 3, 4 moves ahead of the next person. And that takes time. That takes thought. That takes intentionality. That takes structure. That takes organization. And what really grinds my gears, if you guys can't tell, is that when somebody calls and like, hey, can you get us on the mow route? And I'm thinking to myself, well, it's the second or third mow now of the season. Where are you at? Where have you been? And I understand people. I understand one out of every 10 is I got busy, life, somebody passed away, I had cancer, I've been in the hospital, we had a baby. Look, I get that. But that is the exception to the rule. That is not the normal baseline person that's calling you the second, third, fourth week, let's say, into the season, asking where if you can come cut their lawn in this example, and their lawn is 10 inches tall or 6 inches tall, and they haven't thought about it. What I mean is, and I'm preaching to the choir, but you guys understand where I'm coming from. We were all thinking lawn care in February, maybe even January. And a lot of these people are thinking lawn care, after the lawn is 10 inches tall and it's been 3 weeks into the season. Here's my point. 2 things I'll say. Number one, I'm not a big fan of taking on those type of customers. And I know we want to take on new customers. We want to grow the business. We want to take on people. And, in the beginning, you're grasping for straws. You want to almost take on anything just to get your name out there and get money coming in. I get it. And then there's even the whole part where you can argue, don't do that and be top of the top end, high end, boutique, know your worth, know your value, charge premium prices, all that kind of mess, right? I get it. And I agree. But here's the deal. All the people that are calling you right now, here's what I want to say. Be cautious taking those folks on. There's a reason. Either A, they don't have somebody, they lost their last person, maybe they're a procrastinator, maybe their last guy ditched them because they just didn't pay their bill. The customer didn't pay the last guy, and then they're like, hey, where's our guy from last year? Oh, well, you stiffed him, so that's why he didn't show up. That's the kind of stuff I wanted to just talk about right now. For example, like I said, I had 20-some calls yesterday and another 11. I literally showed my phone to Mark. I said, this is the life of an entrepreneur. I said, and this is why I need you guys to be mowing while I'm in the office, just burning up the phone, calling people back, shooting emails. And I had 11 more people today. That means there's 31 people. Let's say 25 want maintenance, 5, 6 want landscaping and other stuff. But there's 25 people that, look, I just want to be as loving as I can say this, but they're 30-year-old homeowners, 35-year-old homeowners, 40-year-old homeowners. The grass didn't spring up out of nowhere on planet Earth, and the spring and summer season didn't pop up out of nowhere on planet Earth, and all of a sudden the grass started growing randomly, and the whole 7 billion people on the planet are like, oh my God, this grass is growing, we got to knock it down. I just don't understand. I'm 35. I understand this in life, that you have to start thinking about things a day, a week, or a month in advance, or a year in advance. Liz and I are planning vacation 6 months from now. People can plan a 6 month out from now vacation and a cruise, but they can't line up lawn service or their fertilizer guy. So here's my point. That's your advantage. Now you get to charge that customer. Here's what I want to say. Consider charging that customer a premium. Their chaos and their lack of organization and their lack of planning ahead is your opportunity. Period, case closed. Now, you might want to be the nice guy and be like, oh, hey, no problem. Lady had a kid, with her husband, and they just, never got to a lawn care service. That's fine. I get it. I understand. But I will tell you, 9 out of 10 people, just period, case closed. And I'm trying to be nice when I say this. They're just lazy. And you know what? Your laziness, your incompetence, and your lack of planning I will not let it affect my life. Now, I'm going to be an opportunistic person here. I'm going to be an opportunist and say, well, if you want us to cut your lawn, it's $45 a week. Normally my price is $40. It's going to be a $25 one-time mowing tall grass fee. So no problem. We'll be able to take you on for $45 plus a $25 one-time mowing tall grass fee. We can get this thing whipped back in the shape and we can add you to the route. Here's the deal. You have them. You have them by the you-know-whats, and that's just, these people are so used to paying credit card fees, late fees, overdraft fees, late payments on their cars. You guys will get it, what I'm saying. Interest, all kinds of stuff. And you know what? They live their life in calamity. 9 out of 10 human beings out on the planet, they just live their life in calamity, putting out one fire to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And that's fine. So here's my encouraging word. Charge those people for it. And I'm just thinking to myself, because I was saying this earlier to Mark and Rob, I'm like, somebody who's got 7, 8, 9 inch tall grass and didn't think about hiring a lawn care service 6 weeks ago, that's not my fault. That's not my problem. And you know what? I'll solve your problem, but it's going to come at a premium. And look, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be, somebody that's out in the industry and somebody that's out in the community. And I want to help these people. I want customers. I want to take care of folks. I want to beautify lawns, beautify my communities, beautify the subdivisions and the homes that we're working on. But I'm not going to let somebody's lack of preparedness or preparation derail my schedule, my calendar, my route. We did what we were supposed to do 8 weeks ago to line ourselves up for success in the season. To go full circle to the lawn inquiry form, it's not just a nice idea to send these out and then to get them back and then to build your route and to build your calendar and say, look, May 15th, I already know what mulch job I'm doing. May 16th, I already know what mulch job I'm doing. May 23rd, May 24th, whatever those Friday, Saturdays, that's what works for my company. I already have all of my dethatchings, all my aerations, all of our mulch jobs on the schedule, on the calendar. And then somebody else is going to call and go, oh my God, my lawn is set 8 inches tall. Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? And I'm thinking to myself, no, my calendar is booked. By the way, that's why you work out of a calendar. So you don't get your schedule pulled in 100 different directions. You don't wake up, Friday morning and go, what am I doing today? If you say, what am I doing today at 9 a.m. of that morning, you have lost the day. You don't know what you're going to be doing. You're defensive. You're not offensive. And that is why successful people get up at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. They shoot their emails out. They have a game plan. They have marching orders for when everybody else comes in at 8 o'clock in the morning to start work on the company. Right. So that's what I wanted to say. And here's one other quick relatable example that I know firsthand that this is true. Because I've been in a commercial snowplow contract this winter. It was one that we did some videos on. I leave the name off of the company and the business, so for obvious reasons. But it was interesting because first snow fell. They obviously didn't have a snow contractor. They called me up and I'm like, yeah, I'll submit a quote. And I'm looking around at it. And I'm like, well, this is a pretty big place. Number one, it's a larger site for my company. And I'm thinking, okay, well, it's a larger site. It's obviously going to be more money, more revenue, more cost to do it, which was fine, which was great. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't really need it, which is nice. It's funny. It is a rich get richer thing. Like when you don't need it, you can charge more. When you don't want the girl, you can play hard to get. You're going to get the nicer girl. It's just, look, dude, this is how the universe works. Another podcast for another time. Maybe we'll have Paul Jameson weigh in on that one. We'll have a whole dating podcast. We can talk about that later. But it is a rich get richer. And so here's the deal. When I submitted the quote, it was a small premium. It was, I don't know, let's say 10% more than what I would have bid it at because I didn't need it. I would have liked it, but I didn't need it. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I bid this at a pretty nice price. We're ready to rock and roll. Let's see what happens. If I get it, great. If I don't, no big deal. Well, I follow up with them a couple of days later and say, hey, did you guys get the quote? What are your thoughts? Wanted to follow up with you. Make sure you guys didn't fall through the cracks. That's my go-to on emails. And they said, yeah, so it was interesting. The guy goes, yeah, we're entertaining one other, bid. We're waiting for one other bid to come in. We'll let you know by the end of the day. anyway, about 2 hours later, I get an email back from not only the guy, but he also copied the account lady, I don't know, accounting, or I don't know, HR girl, whoever, some other lady that is in charge for payments. And it was one of those emails where sometimes this happens, and it's kind of nice because you can kind of like, sneak in and see what's going on behind the scenes. But they did like a reply all or something like that, or copied her. So I was able to see their internal messages back and forth in the email chain, right? Like the key to the city stuff. Like that's like the juicy stuff. Like you're like, all right, what are these people actually saying? Well, so I go back 4 emails. The most recent email was, hey, Amanda, I want to introduce you to Brian. He's going to be taking over the snow for us. This is the new contractor. I signed up. Can you please catch up with him to get the vendor forms to make sure that he gets paid and added to our system and vice versa? And I'm like, yeah, I got the account. Awesome, dude. So I'm thinking to myself, dude, I got this account, which is great. I got it at a 10% premium, like for what I would bid it for. Otherwise, I'm like, dude, I'm like crushing it, right? Like this is awesome. I'm excited. Then I go back to the email chain, and this is always like when your face turns white and you kind of get your gut checked. And some of you guys might know where this is already going. And I go through like one email and then like another email, and it's like, Amanda and let's say, Kyle. And Kyle's like, yeah, I'm looking for vendors. And Amanda's like, anybody that you can find. Kyle's like, we need to get lawn service. And Amanda's like, yeah, I know. So you're going back up through the email chain. Or snow service, I should say. So we're going back up through the email chain, and you see Kyle in this example reach out to Amanda and say, "Yeah, I want you to follow up with this guy. I'm gonna do an email with him. He was the cheaper of the 2 contracts that we received." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, hold the phone. Like I bid this at a premium, and what the heck?" And so, interesting story here. So I call my friend Mike Bedell, and I asked Mike Bedell's thought process on this. And I said, dude, what the heck? I said, I bid this at a premium. I know I bid this for a premium. It's a big site, but we're getting a pretty good price on it. I said, I'm making like a couple $100 an hour doing this thing. And I said, and the other company down the road, we both know. So I'm like, why didn't they get it versus me? And he goes, well, here's why. They have all their snow routes figured out. This other company that probably bid it by November, maybe October, heck, even September. They already have their routes established. Brian, you took on the account, let's say it was end of December because it was later in the season because we already had one snowfall. And he said, more than likely to be added to the route mid-season, right? Even if it's a week past like the starting date. Most of our snow contracts are November 15th through April 1st or April 4th, whatever that first Monday is of April. So maybe that company that they were trying to sign up with, another snow contractor provider, charged them a premium. He said maybe they charged them a 1.5 multiplier on the pricing because it's later in the season. Basically what I'm saying is the routes are established. The work has already been organized. The equipment is on site. The salt has already been pre-bought. The square footage has already been measured out for liquid de-icer. Everything is already figured out. And so here's what I'm trying to say. To go full circle, a new customer signing up, their calamity is not your problem. It's your opportunity. Here's what I'm trying to say. Take advantage of it. Period, case closed. And some people are like, don't take advantage of people. That's bullcrap. Take advantage of that situation. Make hay while the sun shines. Because I looked at that snow contract and I bid it at 110%. But somebody else probably bid it at 150%. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, that makes sense. Because I asked my friend Bedell and I said, why did I get this then if somebody else bid on it as well? And they're like, yeah, I'm the cheaper of the 2. You never want to hear that. You never want to hear that in an email or a conversation. Yeah, they're the cheapest provider. In the beginning, you think you want to be the cheapest guy. At the end of the day, you definitely want to be in the top 20% of the most expensive people that are bidding on a site because you have premium rates. You're going to do a great job. You've got great profit margin. You can invest in the nicest people, the nicest equipment, and do a great quality job. That's what you need to sell is value and benefit, not just cost or whatever. So you guys already know that stuff. But it goes full circle to somebody's calling me up right now and they're like, hey, we need to get our lawn mowed. Hey, we need to get an aeration. Hey, we need to get mulch installed. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't you call in March? Why didn't you call in February? And so that's the whole point I want to make. Somebody else's chaos, somebody else's procrastination, somebody else's calamity is not my problem. Now, I have an opportunity to solve that problem based on my skill set, my business acumen, just like you guys do. We're in business to solve people's problems, from mowing grass to slinging mulch to putting in patios, right? That's what we get paid to do. But again, don't let other folks jockey your calendar. Don't, hey, I'm going to take on 3 more yards today to mow. And then that screws your whole schedule. It skews your whole calendar to where you don't get to do the work that you already had lined up for 6 or 8 weeks out. And I say that with an asterisk because if you want to get bumped to the front of the line, we can do that for you. It's just going to be a very hefty premium. I know guys all the time, like, hey, we're booked 6 weeks out for patios. And people are like, hey, I'll literally pay whatever. And they're like, whatever? And they're like, whatever. You're like, all right, well, whatever, all right, let's throw them a number. And it's $5,000 above what it should be. And customers are willing to pay it because they got the money. Hey, you know what? We'll skirt you to the front of the line. And I'm not saying that, maybe that's an ethics thing. Maybe it's not an ethics thing. I don't know. I'm all about, making the profit here at the end of the day. But that's my point. And some of you guys are laughing because you've probably done that. You're like, you know what? Hey, we can squeeze you in, and because it's a 2X, a 3X premium, or you're making an extra $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. I don't know, whatever. I have no problem with doing that kind of stuff. But here's what I will say. Don't let the customer, this is my suggestion, and this is what I'm saying. Based on 20 freaking calls yesterday, 11 freaking calls this morning by like noon. I haven't even checked my phone since then. I've been listening to Pandora all day. I'm just like, dude, your problems are not my problems. Customers, like, look, the spring and summer season did not randomly snap out of a 1,000 year long ice age. And all of a sudden at 36 years old, Mr. Homeowner, the lawn started to grow randomly. It's not how it works. Right on cue, at least in Michigan, about mid-April, the grass starts growing pretty much every year that I've been alive for 35 years on this friggin' planet. So here's my point. Your problems are not my problems. Your problems are my opportunities, but that's if I want to take them on. And by the way, don't feel like you got to commit to everybody. Literally, I have had 32 phone calls. I've taken on 0 work from all 32. They're out of my area. They're out of my route. They're not the work I'm looking for. They call and they say something on the voicemail like, hey, I'm just looking to sign up. The grass isn't that bad. I'm looking to get a quote for bi-weekly lawn service. That's code for my lawn's 10 inches tall, I'm cheap, and I want you to cut it every 2 weeks, which is not something that my company does or offers. That's like red flag, red flag, red flag. And by the way, you're calling May 15th or whatever, or May 5th, for example, and we've been mowing lawn since, the 3rd week of April. So you're 3 weeks behind, you want it bi-weekly, and you think you have a small lot, which means you have a big lot. No. Does that make sense? So anyway, that's what I got for in today's podcast. I get excited about this stuff. I get passionate about this stuff. I get freaking frustrated with people because we're a small outfit. We have a lot. We do a lot of work for the size of our business that we have. Like it's me and we got 2 full-time guys, Mark and Rob, and a couple other part-time guys that, float around here and there. But we do a lot of work. We get a lot of work in for the amount of effort that, you know what I'm saying? The amount of labor hours that we're putting in. Last week we did $4,500, almost $5,000 in mowing. We did another like $7,000 in mulch, landscaping, just other crap. That's wild. That's in a 6-day window, and we lost a half a day with rain. That's a pretty stout week for my company. I don't know what we're gonna do here in like a full 30-day window, but it's probably pushing around $40,000 between mowing and mulch and other services, probably closer to 45, maybe $50,000. That's a pretty stout 30-day window for my company for 3 guys. So, and I'm not saying like we're the most productive or the best or anything like that. I'm just saying like we're working more than all the haters give credit for, and that's fine. God bless them. I'll cash the checks and we'll keep putting money in the bank and buy new trucks and all that kind of crap. But long story short, we're working just like you guys are. But I'm not going to let somebody else jockey my calendar. Their calamity caused my life to be chaos. So you need to be organized. You need to be focused. You need to be intentional. Every single thing. One other quick little nugget I'll say is, some of you guys have heard this before, maybe you haven't, but if you haven't, study this. If a dollar comes in, you already need to know where that dollar is going to go out, where it's going to go. I learned that from some really successful folks. I've heard Mike Bedell actually say that, totally unrelated one time in conversation. He's like, yeah, when I get this check because I'm selling this off, I'm already putting this money towards that. That's somebody who has a plan. That's somebody who's organized. That's somebody that's not living their life flippantly, and letting chaos or happenstance or chance dictate what's going on in their life or their business. Does that make sense? If a dollar comes in, if a random $2,000 came to you right now, do you know where it would go? if a random relative gave you $10,000, do you know where it would go? If you don't, most likely you're going to waste it. Most likely you're going to spend it. And you have to have an investment mindset. You have to have an organization mindset. You need to know where things are coming and where things are going before they ever come in. You need to know where things are ready to go. So any which way, it's the same thing with work. Before that work comes in, you already need to know what you've committed to, what you're going to commit to. And if you have room, awesome, take it on. But charge a premium for it. That's my point. All right. Hopefully this podcast makes some sense. In my mind, how I was thinking this whole thought, I'm thinking to myself, like, is this a topic worth talking about? But yeah, it is to me because, dude, I'm literally going through my phone right now, like real time, texting the Toro people back and forth. But I literally have read, it's like 9 red calls, 1 black call, 9 red calls, 1 black call. And calls, I think black ones are calling out and then reds are calling in. But it's just wild. And it's exciting. It's a great problem to have. But I'm one guy. I'm not here to solve 31 people's problems because they procrastinated. Now, maybe we'll take in some customers. Maybe some of that will turn into work that we want. I'm not saying that we're not going to call these people back or haven't. But at the end of the day, like, where were you people in February? Where were you people in March? I just don't get it. So anyway, that's what I got. I'm going to go mow my property. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Last things I'll say is join me on the live stream Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. We're doing live streams. Always appreciate you guys jumping on support, and it's always cool to hang with you. Answer questions real time. Anything you guys got, it's wide open. It's a free-for-all. Also, promo code Brian on Equip Expo. If you guys didn't know, the Equip registration is now open for the biggest trade show of the year. Can't wait to see you guys down in October down there. I think it's the 18th through the 21st. I've been literally messaging so many people back and forth. Thank you legit to you guys that have already used the code. If you use it and you register, can you guys tag me and then I'll just share it and maybe encourage some other people to register. We do get a little kickback. It goes right into creating content for you guys, the podcast, YouTube stuff. So we appreciate the support there, and that's what I got. So over now, guys, have a beautiful weekend. We're going to be slinging mulch. Hopefully the rain holds off. I'll be praying for you. Pray for me. And you guys keep crushing it this spring. We'll be back here on Monday. All right, guys. See ya. Bye.
Is your back sore from spreading peat moss manually? Are you sick of spending hours trying to create even layers in your yard, only to lose 30% of your product to a wind gust or uneven distribution? If you are looking for a quick, easy, and efficient solution that will not leave you covered in dirt and dust, the Landsea Compost and Peat Moss Spreader is the answer to your prayers. Expertly developed in the USA with a lightweight frame and comfort grip handles, this powder-coated mesh barrel roller makes spreading a breeze no matter the size of your project. Simply clip the handles into a cymbal, load it up with the top dressing of your choice, close the latches, and roll away. Featuring a tumbling cage to break up large clumps and distribute your product evenly every time, our spreader is better for your lawn and better for your wallet. Our modern approach to lawn care will have your lawn looking lush and professionally maintained in no time. With our complimentary Landsea lifetime product warranty and free shipping year-round, you can buy with confidence knowing that we've literally got your back. Visit Landsea.com to learn more and place your order today. That's LANDZIE.com and use Brian's 10 at checkout to save 10%.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.